तो
Hmm.
मैंने लिफ्ट किया।
So we are going now. It is allowing me to
तो
go live. In a seconds, we will be live.
ओके, सो वो कप नहीं है, वो लिफ्ट किया ना मैंने, टूट गया वो।
Shabash.
ओके।
So here
ओके।
we go. Good evening, one and all. 35th
यस।
Chai Pe Charcha. And over to you, Darshita.
Yes, good evening and welcome all to Chai Pe Charcha session, 35th session. We are happy to see this 35th session has gone, up and has given a insightful knowledge to the persons who are watching this. Thank you so much for this group, creation of this group basically. And today we have invited Moni Bajaj, and are going to discuss with her on the topic the bottom line of sustainability, how business can profit from environment and sustainability, social responsibility. Like, I am wondering, how are we going to make a profit also out of ESG? Today everyone is crying ESG is an additional cost, additional burden. I am happy and I'm excited to learn this with you, Moni. I'll briefly introduce you. I'll take this opportunity and introduce you, Moni Bajaj. She is a highly skilled chartered accountant and the founder of Sustanic Unique Global Private Limited, a leading consultancy specializing in environmental, social, and governance practice. With a robust background in the finance, audit, and taxation, Moni also has an expertise in driving sustainable growth with the business of all sizes. At the Sustanic Global, she leads a team of dedicated professionals who excel in providing comprehensive ESG consulting services, including ESG sustainability reporting assurance, CSR strategy development, various support to NGOs, SSE, sustainable startup advisory, and carbon accounting and trading solution. I think are very new avenues and aspect where every one is struggling, and I think her insights are going to be very useful to everyone. We look forward to it, Moni. Over the past 2 years, Moni has had the privilege of advising one of the top two listed companies on the sustainability report
And I
preparation,
think her
delivered tailored
insight will be,
strategies that
very.
align with their business objectives and values. Additionally, she has played a pivotal role in guiding NGOs through complex community projects, ensuring effective fund utilization and measurable impact. Moni's unwavering commitment to empowering organizations to achieve financial success while promoting environment and social sustainability drives her mission and inspires her team to continue to strive for the excellence. Thank you, Moni, for coming up for this session. And now I take the opportunity to introduce CA Vandana Dodhia, who's going to be our main person who's going to drive us through this interesting topic for today. So here we go for CA Vandana Dodhia.
Thank you, Darshita.
Yeah, just a moment, yeah. CA
जैसे
Vandana Dodhia is,
You want to brief about me? I think.
yes, I want to take this opportunity to let people also know about Vandana Dodhia.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So CA Vandana Dodhia, she is a highly accomplished finance and consultancy professional with over 36 years of an experience. She has begun her career at a young age while pursuing her college education and has since developed a profound expertise in tally, accounts, income tax, GST, and management consultancy. She's a commerce graduate and LLB. She's also a qualified chartered accountant, and she was in the batch of 1998. Vandana is committed to continuous learning, evidenced by her diploma in information systems audit and certificate in forensic and fraud detection, which she has completed in 2020. Wow, I think year on year she has all the degrees. Her contribution to the field has been widely recognized, including receiving the prestigious Star Woman of the Year award from WRC of ICI in 2024. I think we should congratulate her for this a good achievement. As a tally evangelist, she has helped the numerous clients and teams become functional experts. Vandana has also held a significant role, such as co-opted member of AIWRC committee and convener of Women's Excellence Committee at Borivali chapter of Giant Chartered Accountants Federation. Vandana is an active member of several professional associations, including AIFTP, GSTPAM, BCAS, CTC, MCCTC, and the JCF. She has delivered over 300 speeches, workshops on the platforms like WISC and ICIM, Malad Chamber of Commerce, Chamber of Tax Consultants, and Tally Solution. Her expertise and insights have been featured in the notable publication and the interviews. Beyond her professional achievement, Vandana is a passionate musician and a Rotarian. She has founded the International Fellowship of Rotarian Music chapter, where she currently serves as a treasurer and has also served as a vice president of Rotary Club of Borivali for year 21-22. I think a breathless introduction for Vandana Dodhia, and I really am looking forward to the session. Thank you. I'm handing over it to you, Vandana.
अरे थैंक यू दर्शिता सी तारीफ खुदा को भी प्यारी होती है मोनी वेलकम मोनी is joining us from Pune and thank you for accepting our invitation and it was very offbeat topic which I liked when I met Moni that she has also some unique she is the founder of she has started her career with the something new and we all in life hunt for something new so we all want to sustain see getting success getting a higher scale in your business or whatever you earn in your life, you need to sustain something. So now we have to understand how can business effectively balance profitability with environmental and social responsibility. Because sustainability has a three characteristics. They have to have a profitability, they have to have an environmental and social responsibility. So what is your views on how a business effectively can balance profitability with environmental and as well as social responsibility keeping in the mind? Moni.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity and thank you for the kind introduction. There is misconception when we think about sustainability. We think that it's a, extra burden on the businesses. But we should understand that the businesses cannot sustain by themselves. Like they need resources, they need people to, run the business. And for running the business, the resources we get definitely from the environment and the people support we get from the society. And what in return business expect from them? They expect them, to continuously work for them forever and, not returning back anything to them. So this is we call, not sustainable thing. So if we are taking benefits from them, it is the business responsibility to, taking care of those resources and the people. So sustainability is nothing. It just, keeping interest in mind of everybody and, developing holistically.
Okay. So can you give some successful examples of business integrating sustainability into their bottom line?
Yeah. So if you ask me example, we can take practical example of like Tata.
Okay.
So we, whenever I was in a conference, Glowpack, and there I asked this question, this sustainability reporting is coming up and, how to analyze this report, what, how going to impact the investor's decision. And the person answered that, sustainability is not a new thing for India. We know Tata, Tata, since they started, they always worked for the people. Right? They never cared just for the profit and still, they thrived.
Very.
So, keeping people's and environment's interest in mind, business still can achieve great profits. They can create a positive image in the people's mind and people will also support.
And offline human is a resource, human can remain with the company who have a higher standard of this kind of thought process. They are taking care of economic sustainability as well as the socially they are driven, So I think that's a very good example of it. Now, moving forward, what role does consumer demand play in driving business towards more sustainable processes? Practice, basically, what will help? Is it the consumer demand which will play the role?
So, initially businesses used to, just throw things on the consumers, they through their marketing, they're still doing that. But, the good thing in today's world is that people are becoming aware and they are caring. They are caring about, the product they are buying. What does that company, impact, what kind of impact it has on the environment and the people around it. So people are preferring to, buy products from the companies who are, actually caring for the people and for the environment. They care for the sustainability. For example, if you see, whenever you book some hotel, you will see, on the online platforms, they have a special filter nowadays, sustainability certification.
Yes.
Lot of hotels, especially these 5 stars, showing that they are sustainable in a way, that they are reducing their water footprint, and somehow they are managing their waste in a sustainable manner. So consumers definitely, why these hotels started, all of a sudden started doing this, because people demanding it. So I believe that consumer has a power.
And what has happened, the media and internet and everyone is now educated in the sense they are alerts about what they are buying. The way you say now, pehle it was enforced on us that this is the only thing which is available in the market. Now people go and search, do I have an alternate available for this? And if alternate available, whether that person is also doing this sustainably kind of practices follows by the business houses or not. And I think that's a well-informed customer, and I think that's
Yeah,
important.
and you can also see, Vandana, that people are, started this reducing plastics. They are looking for alternates, plastic, and they're avoiding it as much as possible. So we can see that, consumers are driving this sustainability more.
Practice also, yes, right. So that understood. Now let's go one step ahead. How can businesses measure the financial impact of their sustainability initiative? So if I started some sustainability initiative, what will be the financial impact that I will be able to judge as a business entrepreneur?
Yeah. So very good question, Vandana. If you see that, a lot of companies started, getting shifted from for their energy consumption to the renewable energy sources, and it is not only, reducing cost for them, but it is also reducing the fines and penalties they used to, get because of the pollution they used to create from, using non-renewable resources. So this sustainability initiatives definitely can have a positive impact on their financial position.
Yes.
If you see the circular economy thing also, waste to wealth and all those things, the things which, people used to think we can just, use and throw. But now they are started realizing that,
Recycle, right.
also they can generate some value out of it.
Correct. So waste में से best जो इंडिया की policy रही है, and now even the big corporates are also started using it. Certain things were going. I think before 20 years they started with carbon credit also, and we all know go green is also in thing. So economic, environmental, issues are we all face. This has happened. Global warming is coming because we never start. We now they are started again. Every business house is taking care that environment is also protected. The country per se has a pollution control board who takes care. But as a business houses, it is citizens' rights or rather moral responsibility that they do something to curb wherever possible this type of mishaps happening to the environment. So
Yeah.
Darshita also mentioned in the chat that at Tata, they are also using renewable energy source now. So I think that's a welcome step. So that's very important nowadays. Everyone is doing understanding, rather, I put it that way. So from this, is there any specific industries or sectors where integrating sustainability into the bottom line is more challenging? Challenge किसको रहेगा ये the very, very, very not able to do. The way I said, the chemical industries or probably some of the industries you can mention where it will be having a trouble.
I think now, because it is getting compulsory for all the organization that you have to become sustainable. And I think nowadays the entities, businesses which never cared about sustainability, they all are into trouble now. So they are finding it challenging how to become sustainable.
So what are the, I mean, see to examples, like any industries, what will be a challenge? One example, if you can give. First challenge is that there's something new for them, which they were, overlooking. So what are the steps they have to take to start with, if we frame it out?
Yeah. For, let's take an example of water, right? So initially, what they used to do, they used to, take water. Of course, there is, some regulatory body which, used to regulate all these things. But still, they've never reported about it. It was not. But now, because they have to report it, and there are more stringent regulations, because we can see there are a lot of areas where people are not even getting water for their daily needs, and these industries are using water for their daily consumption in a very high quantity.
Correct.
So now, because of these regulations, and also what they used to do after using the water, the wastewater they used to release in the
whatever nala,
yeah, as
nala,
it is.
wherever.
Yes, and now there are this regulation that now you cannot release it as it is. You have to treat it. And if you see the BRSR report, it says that you have to also mention that at what level of treatment you did for disposing of that water.
Correct. So I think that was our, the next question in the line was that how do regulatory frameworks and government policy will be influencing business approach to sustainability? I think the part of it has been covered. Okay, the government already tries to have some regulation framework. Some more instance, if you can share with us.
If I want to quote a practical example, like this water example, if I want to continue, there are organizations, they're like, we never measured how much amount of water we disposed of.
Correct.
And now they have to have that number, how much amount you disposed of.
Correct.
So it is very challenging for them now. They have to put system so that they can calculate it.
Correct.
There this we can see regulatory power comes into in the picture.
This is very important. Something which was back seat, now it will come over front seat.
Yeah.
Great. So what are the potential risks for businesses that fail to prioritize? Where people front seat पे नहीं आएंगे, environmental and social responsibility. So अगर if they are not prioritizing, what will be the potential risk for this business houses?
So potential risk, potential risk in the form of, we can see penalties, lot of penalties, fines. We see that there are environmental laws, there is factory law, Factories Act, which govern the how do you treat the people, how do you treat the resources, and if you're not treating them well, then you can the organizations can have consequences in forms of penalties, fines, right? Yeah.
So you have shown the penalties and risk. Now you can highlight what will be the long-term benefit for the businesses that actually invest in sustainability. अगर आपने बताया कि you show them a fear of potential penalty, so now they start investing in sustainability. What will be the impact on their long-term benefits?
Okay, long-term benefits. See, if they're taking care of the people, if they're taking care of the natural resources, it's gonna have a positive impact on them. Definitely, people are satisfied. They will be working, more honestly, and for the organization, they will be creating more value for the organization. And in terms of resources, we can see that if we destroy all the resources, or we just eat up all the resources, how will the organization survive?
आने वाली पीढ़ी को जवाब देना पड़ेगा. The coming generation will question you.
New generations, they are coming up with inborn diseases. This is the result of, our own unsustainability we carried from so many years.
So, अगर suppose they invest किया, so it is for a long-term benefits. Obviously, it will help our universe to sustain in a good environment. Now, how they can actually effectively communicate that their sustainability efforts to consumer and stakeholders. So, what is the ways and means? What should they do?
Yeah, they can prepare their BRSR report.
Can you
ESG report.
full form BRSR का full form बताइए please, participants.
Business responsibility and sustainability report. There you put the data which is asked by SEBI, that you have to show how much sustainable you are. They have asked some questions from you. Definitely not the traditional financial questions. So far people were just curious about the financial numbers. Now they have to understand, what is the internal picture, which never came out in the public. And there are other ESG frameworks also. GRI is there, and definitely the IFRS also has come up with 2 standards, S1 and S2. So we can cover them in detail, maybe
I wanted the information base. This is a preliminary meeting on ESG. We're making an awareness. Okay, let's get aware. And this is also an opportunity for chartered accountants. This is a new opportunity in opening the door. So if a serious this kind of reports to be created, then when they go for current year's audit, they will also start asking the companies, are you using sustainability any means or any sort of they are planning to go ahead for investment in sustainability or not? Maybe it's not applicable to all the companies. I think first 1,000 Fortune companies or whomsoever it is applicable, but it is, let's start and gear up for that same. So you can write some innovative strategies.
Yeah.
For businesses to profit from. Okay, the question was that how to profit from this efforts. So you have to highlight that now.
Sorry, I didn't get you, Vandana.
You have asked in our questions, okay, how a business will get profit from sustainability. Emerging business.
Emerging businesses, nowadays there is trend, so far we used to think there are so many issues. Now people are coming up with solutions. Suppose there are businesses like we are recycling plastic in this and that way, and some are saying we are coming up with more renewable energy sources. So nowadays this businesses itself coming up with the solutions. They are not saying that we are sustainable. They are showing that we are sustainable solutions.
That's important. So then the profit, it will convert to profit, basically. And Darshita has also asked one more question in the chat box. Is that, is there any guidelines for some SEBI compliance is there, mandatory requirement?
Yeah, for BRSR, SEBI has asked that top 1,000 listed companies has to prepare this BRSR report, and top 150 companies have to also get it assured, and that assurance should also be reasonable assurance, means high level of assurance. So there is a term called greenwashing, like we use in financial statements, window dressing. Like they just try to paint them green, that they are very sustainable, but they are actually not. So how to certify that? For that there is this BRSR assurance. A lot of companies are voluntarily also preparing their BRSR reports and also getting it assured. And if you see that this number will gonna increase only. Yesterday I gave a webinar. There also somebody asked me, what is the roadmap for BRSR? If you see in BRSR also, SEBI asked that you have to cover your value chain partners also. And it is so complex because it says, your upward and downward value chain partners and direct, indirect also. So we can see,
Okay. So it's a very lengthy process, and it will require a technical know-how and the actual knowledge of the industry. Otherwise, how you will write the report? And the assurance, how I will as a chartered accountant certify.
You
So,
must have some people, like SEBI also says that if you are providing assurance for it, then you must have a team, which has that skill set.
So that was my next question. How can a businesses ensure that their supply chains align with their sustainability goals? Sustainability goals are aligned with the supply chains. वो कैसे ensure करेंगे? How they will ensure?
Yeah. So the businesses can see, with whomsoever they are procuring resources, are they sustainable? For checking their sustainability, they can, if they are also preparing their BRSR report, from there they can get the insights, or they can hire some external agency like us, to conduct this sustainability
I know.
assessment for their value chain partners. And if you see, they're also, in BRSR, they ask, are your supply chain partners sustainable? For that, they answer, yes, we conducted some kind of sustainability assessment for the value chain partners, for the suppliers. So there are a lot of things. I want to give an example. Like few years back, I watched a documentary. So in the makeup product, they use a raw material which is called mica. Just gives shining texture to the powder or whatever we use. So from where it comes? So there are two type of micas. One is synthetic one, which majorly use the plastic, and another one is natural one. And that natural one comes from mines situated in Jharkhand. And all the these brands, like I don't use makeup products much, but like you can see this Chanel, all that. Chanel, they import all these micas from here, and they use it, and they sell the product at such a high rate. And you won't believe, the people who are extracting that mica from those mines are actually very small kids, and they are risking their life to extract that mica. And what they get in return? Very nominal amount of wage. And people are, it is very risky situation, whoever created that documentary. And they asked a question from those children, why are you doing this? They said, agar ye nahi karenge to fir khana kahan se khayenge?
Survive kaise karenge? Correct.
So so now the question is on those big companies. They should be aware from where they're getting that mica.
But
child involved in that, are they getting paid well?
That's important.
That is the sustainable supply chain.
Correct. So we need to understand that not only I am supposed to earn and benefit, those who are associated with me, their partners, supply chain partners, if they are suffering from certain particular eventualities, can I work some way in a way to uplift them also?
Yes.
And minimize their issues.
Yes, and they're also complying with all these regulations, like child labor is not allowed.
Correct.
All those things, yeah. There are practical challenges, but
still,
somehow
yes,
to understand the benefits also.
To the extent one can do, if no one is opening the eye, they are absolutely, not focusing. It is better, you start now looking into it,
Yeah.
Solutions will follow when you know that there is a problem.
Yes.
अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है problem है, तो you will never try to hunt for a solution. That is how the life is also all about.
Definitely.
So now we say 1,000 fortune companies, मतलब first 1,000 companies. Let's understand that slowly and steadily, there will be key challenges for small and medium-sized enterprises in adopting these sustainable practices. So what will be your say on that?
I think, initially, definitely it is always challenging to start a new thing. If we also want to start a new habit, we have, for some period of time, it is very challenging. But once you adapt it, it's normal. So for similarly for smaller businesses also, they are thinking that this is new regulation, we don't know what to do, how to do it. And, all these things, you have to be carbon neutral, you cannot use non-renewable energy sources and all that. So they are kind of afraid. But once they get to know that it is beneficial in the long run, they can put some, can start putting some efforts, small efforts.
So I was
And
also
then
thinking that line only, sorry to interrupt you, कि cost benefit analysis जब समझेंगे, then they will start implementing.
yes, and that is why
There.
SEBI is I mean, they are so intelligent, I would say. They, rather than putting direct burden on MSMEs, they said, to the top companies that your value chain partners should also be sustainable. So now it's on them, to track that sustainability thing. So there's,
so it is percolating down. Correct.
yeah. So, there are pros and cons of both. Like big companies will say, like, if you are not sustainable, I'm not going to do business with you.
Correct.
And on the other hand, it can, take it positively and help those small, organizations and make them sustainable, so that, there will be some
overall graph is also moving.
Yeah.
So the whole country can benefit out of it, So moving forward, what role do investors play in encouraging businesses to prioritize sustainability? ये तो हुआ business houses को जब SEBI या कोई mandatory requirement आती है, then they will start doing. But in the start of the conversation, you mentioned that the Tata was a company who started initially, मतलब Jamshedpur and already we all know. But somehow, the investor also can play the part.
Definitely. I think investors are the key stakeholders for driving this sustainability thing in the organization. And, the question which you asked, I used to ask to a lot of people, how investors, can analyze this sustainability thing, and how will it, impact their investing decisions. But, gradually I myself, analyzed this question, because nobody was able to, answer it directly, because still investors care only about one thing.
मुझे dividend कितना मिला?
How much return is gonna, right? Monetary term. So ultimately, investor will always care about their financial return. But if they understand that these non-financial things can impact their financial interest, then only they will be interested into sustainability. For an example, if we say that there is some factory or some site, some major site of some company, ABCD, and that is is the one which is driving the most revenues for that particular organization. And by analyzing their sustainability thing, and they realize that there is some climate risk to it. Suppose that particular plant is in a water stress area, and water is something which is a very important resource for their production process. And if some rules come up that there is water stress, and we cannot allow the industries to take out water, so it will impact their revenues also, because it will impact their production.
Correct.
So in that way, they have to think directly. Maybe they will not be able to get some valuable information, but they have to analyze it.
So ultimately, you are also making some awareness by spreading this kind of webinars. कि people should start understanding jitna financial, वैसे non-financial reporting is also making a matter. It's a matter of understanding if company having good human touch, regards for generation to come, basically.
Yeah, and also if you see, there, like I said earlier, also fines and penalties. If the through this sustainability report, they can also analyze if companies are not sustainable, they are not following the the regulations in environmental regulations or social regulations. So they can be they can be imposed with a lot of fines and penalties, and that also going to impact their financial position,
which ultimately reduce the profit.
Gonna be impacted.
Correct. Yeah. So see, we are using technology today to have this webinar. So how can businesses leverage technology to enhance their sustainability efforts while improving their bottom line?
Yeah. So, nowadays nobody can survive without technology.
Hmm.
I also used to say in the webinars, seminars also that, this artificial intelligence is, coming up so fastly that people are losing their jobs. And you're saying that we are sustainable.
How one can say sustainable?
You're taking jobs from the people, and you're saying that because sustainability doesn't mean only taking care about the environment. It talks
Yes,
about the people's interest also.
social responsibility we have, correct?
Yeah. So, but then that person said, initially when this computer came up, then also people used to say it gonna, take jobs from the people and all that. So, whatever we say is we cannot live without technology. But technology, again, businesses should understand, though I think this is most important, that what kind of technology they are using, so that they can maximize the uh, the returns from the technology, not only in their own financial terms, I mean reduction of cost, but also they can create some value for the people also, for the community also. So for I can take example of, like, there are a lot of you know startups are coming up with technology solution for this environmental and social problems. And you know there is blockchain technology, and there is this now a lot of technologies in terms of artificial intelligence are there, so that they can find real solutions for driving their sustainability, for example, reducing their energy consumption, and reducing their carbon footprints.
See, technology can just give you a collecting a data. Data collection will be done with the AI. Okay, this is happening. On a real scale, somebody has to actually put it into the practice. Some whatever they want to do. See, technology can give you the data in a standardized format. If you do this much, it will impact this much sustainability. Matlab, this much area is covered or whatever way it is. I think technology can help us in understanding how far you have reached in your target. Correct? That's how it should be.
Yeah, so it is nowadays, it's not just about data collection, it's analyze the data for you and gives you
हाँ,
decisions.
that's what. हाँ, तो वो पावर क्वेरी रहेगा या एआई टूल रहेगा, वो हमें एनालाइज करके देगा. तो I think barometer kind of thing, the AI technology will be helping us, right? So, correct.
And technology in terms of, we can say that there are a lot of technologies for providing alternate sources for the energy.
But this, I wanted to hear from you. If this is what is actually technology will help the business houses, that they also know how they can use what are the technology available which should be used for this renewable energy and all that. So I think we must educate and guide all the business houses across.
And also for the waste management as well,
Correct.
like I said, from waste to wealth.
Correct.
Technology can help in for
Correct.
that as
So coming now to the last question for the today, is there any misconception or myth surrounding the profitability of sustainability initiative that need to be addressed? I think this is today's chap. We started with how business house can earn the profitability, but then you need to summarize what are the myths or misunderstandings around, you said, okay, the investor will also need to know sustainability. If the company survives, then only in the next coming years I will get some benefits out of it. Company should survive so that I get benefit. But otherwise, then what? So what are the initiatives, myths, misunderstanding surrounding the profitability of this sustainability initiative? So you specify what are the gray areas, basically.
okay. So misconceptions, I can correlate with the examples I previously gave, that businesses think this is extra burden, you know. They are not aware क्या है, क्या गवर्नमेंट ये लेके आ रही है, हमें नहीं पता क्या करना है. अब कोई आएगा, वो समझाएगा, वो पैसे लेगा, you know, रिपोर्ट बनाने के भी पैसे लगेंगे. So they think that it is just an extra burden, and they are so happy with whatever they, you know, used to do. For example, if an organization which is you know, making some consumer product, let's take an example of soap or some shampoo or whatever, right? So they used to package it in plastic, and now they are thinking about, you know, because it shows that they are not sustainable. Or I can take another example, like BRS are also asked for, you know, extended product response, you know, seller's responsibility, or you know, there is life cycle assessment of your product, you know, from the date you made that product to the, you know, and its end of its life. What is your responsibility? So they just used to sell it and they used to forget about it. And but now they, you know, they have to show that either they are doing this or they're just, you know, going back and recollecting that waste also that, you know, generated from their product. So it is a headache. And all these things, you know, there is misconception that sustainability going to, you know, slow down business. There are so many things in so many countries, you know, they are just delaying it because businesses are so afraid, you know, we cannot do this and that, you know, all of a sudden you think use renewable energy sources, but for putting that non-renewable sources, there is some capital, you know, you need some capital.
Correct. Initial investment, but once it comes in the rotation, it will be easy. But to start with, it will be
there is practical problem about the solutions also. There are not, you know, very viable or you know, long-term solutions, you know, available at this point in time. This is because we started thinking in that this direction right now. So it will take, you know, some time, you know. I think it's a good thing that we at least started thinking, because human brain is like that only. Once we start thinking, we definitely will create solutions for it. Yeah.
So I think it was a really wonderful Chai Pe Charcha. And thank you for joining us in the 35th Chai Pe Charcha. And it was, I think, way forward, people will remember that, yes, it is a social responsibility on part of each one of us. All business houses should start following it, even if it is not yet mandatory for them, because sustenance is what is the future, right? If I survive, I sustain my business, then, and that too, it should be a profitable at the end of the day, correct? So
yeah, I think first thing, Vandana, is we all should start thinking positively about, you know, sustainability and, you know, sustaining the resources at any cost.
At any cost. Please. So if the resources will retain, survive, then only the future, any activities can be carried out. So I think it's the right time to be getting awake and start working towards it.
Yes.
So thank you from the team of Chai Pe Charcha for joining us and giving your valuable time to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you.
Bye for now.